Hey everybody, Matthew Pillmore here. Today we're going to be breaking down something that politicians and the media certainly love to argue about.
Tonight, a warning to world leaders from President Trump.
Come make your product in America. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff.
The president made the threat during virtual remarks to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. It did not sit well with everyone in the audience, including the head of the World Trade Organization.
If we have tit-for-tat retaliation, whether it's 25%, tariff 60%, and we go to where we were in the 1930s, we are going to see double-digit global GDP losses. Double-digit. That's catastrophic.
That is tariffs, okay? You guys have been hearing all about them. You hear about them all the time. But do you really understand how they work? And more importantly, do you know how they will affect you? By the end of the video today, you'll not only understand tariffs, but you'll also see real-world numbers and how they hit your wallet. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So here's the definition of a tariff. It's simply a tax imposed by a government on imported goods. And the idea behind tariffs is to make foreign products more expensive so that domestic industries have a competitive advantage. Now, let's say that the US government decides to put a 25% tariff on imported steel from China. That means that for every $1,000 worth of steel a company imports, they now have to pay an extra $250 worth of taxes. Now, who do you think really pays for that? Is it China? Nope. It is the American consumers and American businesses. So let's go ahead and break that down. How do tariffs increase the expense or the prices for businesses? Let's go ahead and use the car manufacturing industry as another example. Let's say that a car manufacturer needs 2 tons of steel per car. Pre-tariff steel prices would cost $2,000 per car. Post-tariff steel prices would cost $2,500 per car. And if the company produces 100,000 cars per year, their costs just increased by $50 million. That's additional costs per year. And guess what? They don't eat that cost, folks. They pass it down to the consumer by raising car prices. So let's be sure that we are crystal clear about how tariffs increase prices for you and me, as well as other people, other consumers, and business owners. Let's say that you're in the market to buy a new car. Before tariffs, the price tag on a mid-range car would be, say, $30,000, but because of the increased steel prices, as an example, the manufacturer has to raise prices by at least $500 per vehicle just to cover the increased cost of steel. So now your car costs $30,500. Doesn't really seem like much, but if you multiply that by millions of car buyers, and suddenly billions of dollars are being pulled out of consumer pockets throughout the economy. Now, I also want to look at how tariffs affect everyday goods, because it's not just cars. In 2018, the US government imposed a 20% tariff on imported washing machines. Well, what happened? The average price of a washing machine in the US jumped from $850 on average to $1,000 within just months. That's a $150 increase, all because of a tariff. Now, this means that tariffs don't just hurt businesses. They only hurt businesses because it forces businesses to raise prices, which means fewer people can afford their products. So the net outcome after a tariff trickles all the way down is that they ultimately just hurt you, the American everyday person out here just trying to afford the cost of living. Every time you go to buy a car, an appliance, or even something as simple as a t-shirt, it's hurting you. Now, here's where things can get a little more complicated. Other countries don't just sit back and accept these tariffs by saying, okay, no problem. They're actually going to retaliate by putting tariffs on other goods. For example, when the US imposed tariffs on steel and aluminum, China retaliated by placing tariffs on American soybeans. And that crushed American farmers because China was one of their biggest buyers. Before tariffs, China bought $12 billion worth of American soybeans per year. After tariffs, China cut purchases by 50%, driving US soybean prices down, and then farmers lost billions and had to be bailed out with a $28 billion government subsidy. So not only are prices going up for consumers, but then taxpayers have to foot the bill to keep farmers afloat. Politicians often will sell tariffs as a way to punish other countries, but in reality, it's just a hidden tax on us Americans. Let's just put it into perspective with some big numbers. The 2018-2019 tariffs cost American households an estimated $1,300 per year in higher prices on things. Businesses paid $80 billion in tariff-related taxes in 2019 alone. The GDP was reduced by about 0.3% due to consumer spending and investment. So who really pays for tariffs? It's not foreign governments. It's not even the businesses that are importing the goods. It's you, through higher prices, through job losses, and through that hidden economic drag. Now, if you do want to keep more money in your pocket, understanding the reality of tariffs is crucial. The next time that you hear a politician promise tariffs to protect American jobs, just ask yourself, at what cost? Hopefully this video kind of helped clarify things. I know tariffs are a bit confusing for people. Do let me know in the comments below, right? And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like these basic types of concepts more clearly explained. I think it's very helpful for all of us to be as crystal clear as possible so that we can know what to expect and budget properly. Because one thing I can say for certain is that it's far more likely that the prices of your costs to live day in and day out are going to go up far more commonly than they are going to come down. And beyond that, as tariffs may affect things, taxes are going to continue to go up, insurance costs continue to go up. So we have to be prepared to do as much as possible to be diligent about our money and properly budget so that we can continue to save for emergencies as well as invest for our futures. Guys, we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, make it a great day today, and I hope you're having as beautiful a spring day as I am out here in Colorado. Until then, we'll chat soon and keep on cash flowing. Take care.